Not sure when you can book Disney Park Pass reservations or dining reservations? Or if you can even book a Disney trip at all? Yeah, things are they're very confusing right now, and it's kind of on purpose. Hey everybody, it's AJ for Disney Food Blog. All right, this is a big one. You are following along with all the latest Disney news, waiting for that new 60-day window to book your dining reservations. But then you can't actually make them. It's only open for trips from certain dates to certain dates and only for certain reasons. And why can't you get a straight answer? Disney trips can be confusing and hard to plan anytime, but right now things are changing day to day, minute to minute, and it's not an accident that Disney World is so confusing right now. Now, we know this can be a lot of info to take in. We've got a whole video for you trying to help you understand what's going on. So we've made a cheat sheet for all the info you need to know about who can make reservations right now and what will be available when. You can get that in a free download by signing up for our free newsletter over at disneyfoodblog.com/new planning cheat sheet, and we'll drop it right into your inbox. disneyfoodblog.com/new planning cheat sheet. Okay. So why is Disney being so confusing on purpose? Well, this is something we as Disney fans are not used to. We expect consistency from Disney. We know when to book our dining reservations. We know when we have to pay off our room packages. We know that they'll serve Dole Whip in Magic Kingdom. It's what we plan our whole vacation around. We trust Disney. So right now, when things are so up in the air and Disney has to make major decisions at the last minute, that trust is kind of being shaken. Suddenly, there's no more Fast Pass, no more Disney dining plan, no more park hopping, and we're not getting what feel like straight answers to our questions. So why is that? Well, Disney needs to be able to pivot in case things change, so they're not announcing specifics right now. So that's probably the main reason why things are so confusing, and they're kind of confusing on purpose. Disney's not releasing specific information. They're giving out very general information. It's hard to pivot when you're such a huge company. So even if you're just talking about the Parks and Resorts division, it's still giant. Disney is purposefully not giving a lot of specific answers yet because they don't want to get locked in. They have to be vague. If they're locked in, that means you're going to make specific plans and then they may have to pull the rug out from underneath us again. And they don't want to do that. So here's a couple of examples of what we're talking about. There's no official time released for the new technology to go live on the website. When Disney launched that new Park Pass reservation system, they never publicly announced a certain time that it would open. This allows them to fix glitches as the first few people try to use the system, and it absolves them of responsibility if it's a technological disaster, like the Park Pass system was at first, with hours-long waits to make a reservation and even longer waits to speak to a cast member. So they're not giving official times for things to open when they're new technology because they have to have time to kind of fix it and mess with it before a bunch of people descend on it. Also, they're giving no time at all on when 2020 reservations are going to open. So the language around just when new 2020 hotel reservations and tickets may go on sale keeps changing. The first announcement was later this summer. Now the phrasing is that new reservations are temporarily paused, though we're still seeing both of those snippets of terminology on different parts of the website. So they halted ticket and hotel sales because with limited capacity in hotels and parks, they're determining how close to capacity they will be with their current guest load, everybody that already has tickets and hotel reservations. That's why they're asking guests to confirm or cancel their reservations to figure out exactly how many people will be filling those limited spots in the hotels and parks. Once they determine that, they can figure out the remaining capacity, and then they can open up reservation and tickets later this year because they know they'll be able to take on more folks. But right now they don't know what availability is going to be for the rest of the year, so they wouldn't want to sell more tickets or hotel rooms than they can safely offer. So if you were to book hotel reservations and buy tickets that they can't guarantee will work out because they're already too full, that doesn't make any sense either. So that's why they're kind of saying we're waiting until we know exactly how many hotel rooms and how much capacity we'll have in the parks before we release those new things for booking. I hope that makes sense. Basically, if they released it now and they were wrong and you booked a hotel reservation and you bought tickets and then there was no room for you to actually come to Disney World, you'd be probably a lot madder than you are now, just not knowing when the date's going to open. So Disney's betting you'll be happier to be confused and waiting for a date to book that stuff than to actually book it, and for them not to be able to guarantee you can get in. Also, by waiting to make that announcement, the number of people looking to book a new trip will probably go down to just locals and those of us Disney diehards, which means fewer people to be disappointed if things don't work out or if some things remain closed at Disney World. Okay, another reason why Disney's being confusing on purpose. By not releasing a general statement, they can handle each situation on its own and update their own internal policies whenever necessary without having that, but I saw this on the website, conversation. So here's some examples of that. Disney has not said on their website that you can get a refund for your Park Hopper add-on to your ticket. Currently, Disney note that guests with Park Hopper add-ons can do one of three things. They can cancel their tickets, modify their packages, or use their tickets later, because many tickets have been extended for use into 2021. So they never actually say on the site that you can get a refund. So if you want to get any sort of potential refund on your Park Hopper add-on, you will need to contact Disney and discuss with a cast member directly what your options are. So when we reached out via the chat function on the website, we were told that the closest thing to getting a refund would be to cancel our tickets. But when we asked more questions, we were told that guests can modify their vacation packages and only change the ticket type, which sure sounds like a refund to us. We were also told by several readers that they were able to get refunds this way. So while Disney won't say it, they may still do it. You have to call and see what the policy is for your specific situation. But if they said on the website everyone can get a refund, if there were situations or circumstances that wouldn't allow for that to happen for whatever reason, then Disney would have a lot more upset people than they do right now. So they're taking it on a case-by-case basis and not stating specifically refunds on the website. Another way that they're not really making specific statements, but instead making general ones, is giving free upgrades to people who have to move hotels. Now, it's never actually stated that the people who have to move their hotel because either their hotel's not opening or suddenly there's a bunch of NBA players staying at their hotel, Disney never says that they will give complimentary upgrades to a different hotel. And for those of us who are staying in hotels that aren't opening or do have NBA players staying in them, so therefore we can't stay in them, then we have to call Disney and find out what we need to do to change our hotel reservation to a different hotel, because Disney has stated that if you don't call and confirm, modify, or cancel your reservation, that it will be automatically canceled 7 days before check-in date. So you definitely have to call. You definitely have to ask them questions about what will happen if you move to a more expensive hotel. Many people have had free upgrades given when they're moving from, say, Port Orleans French Quarter to a deluxe villa resort, but not everybody. Some people are actually having to pay the difference. So I don't know what Disney's specifics are around that, who gets the free upgrade and who doesn't, but they don't say specifically on the website that information. All they say is you have to call. So you have to call. Me personally, when I had to call, I was staying at the beach club, and the beach club is closed. Of course, the villas are open, but the beach club itself is closed, and I had to switch into a different hotel. And when I did that, my cast member that I was talking to worked really hard to find me a hotel that was going to be a similar level of accommodations for a similar price. And when I said I didn't want to stay in the specific place he was going to place me, he was able to kind of negotiate a different location at a different price. But it seems like it is very much on a case-by-case basis. So Disney's not saying straight up, we are going to give people complimentary upgrades if they have to move into higher level hotels. They're just kind of not saying anything because, again, you never know what's going to happen. And yeah, there are a lot of one-off situations right now that will have to be handled differently. People have specific kinds of tickets, people who need to move reservations, etc. And so Disney is basically giving general statements on their website and saying to call and get specifics from the cast member you're speaking to. Now, if you have specific questions about your trip or your tickets, contact them directly. Don't wait for them to reach out to you via email if you're not okay with the automatic extensions or cancellations. These things are just that, automatic, so it may happen before you even notice, and then you are out of luck. So if you have a reservation, if you know you're going, double check it, triple check it, make sure that that hotel is going to be opening, make sure that your tickets aren't extended or not extended, or other changes aren't happening. And if you have a hotel reservation at a resort without an opening date or at a resort that's open after your reservation dates, definitely call Disney and get that sorted out ASAP. Okay, so is Disney just kind of making it up as they go along? Kinda. But everyone is right now. Case numbers are all over the place in different states, so gauging what the future holds is more impossible than it even usually is. And they don't want you to have to plan around things they will eventually have to change yet again. Now, Disney's wiped the slate clean, canceling every single dining reservation in their system, encouraging trip postponements and cancellations by waiving fees, and initially offering incentives to travel later. They offered a free dining plan to guests affected by the closure before the dining plan was nixed completely. So things are still changing, things are still being updated on the daily. Disney's trying to keep numbers low by starting over and keeping things a little confusing. They're basically encouraging you not to visit right now. Better to be confusing than to disappoint thousands upon thousands of guests or disrupt their vacations yet again. So with all that in mind, which I know is difficult to understand and it's difficult to figure out what Disney's doing, it's hard for us too, and we're in the mix with it every single day. We're trying to figure this out all the time. So we're doing our best to relay to you the things we're finding out, the information we're finding out, and to make it as clear and easy to understand as possible. But there are still a lot of questions we have, and we're working every day to get all these answered for you. So let's talk about those really quickly. There's not a lot of specifics about masks right now. So face shields and bandanas, those are probably a no if you're not wearing a mask underneath them, but we have seen them out there in Disney Springs, and so they're getting by sometimes, but all the cast members we've spoken to have said no, face shields and bandanas are not considered masks. Also, it seems that masks are not required on the pool deck at all, though Disney has only said masks can come off while swimming and lounging, but it seems to be broader than that in practice. So again, talk to the cast member directly when you get there and figure out what the policy is. Next question, we're trying to figure out, can you resort hop, which means go from resort to resort without any barriers or issues? Well, Disney's statements on the website say no, but in practice, we're getting varied responses. We've been told we can walk between the Polynesian and Grand Floridian and that that's not a problem. There are some places that if we book mobile order, then we can go in even if we don't have a dining reservation at that location. So it seems to be varied and complex, kind of what happens where, and I'm guessing that cast members maybe don't have all the specific information laid out all that clearly. And I do think things are changing very, very regularly. And we expect this is going to get a lot more complicated once the parks and more resorts open as well, and there's more transportation between resorts. So we will be keeping an eye on this, especially this week as the parks start to open. So when will the Disney dining plan come back? That's another question we're getting a lot. Currently, you cannot book the Disney dining plan with any new 2021 bookings. We would imagine that if and when Disney reinstates the dining plan, those with booked 2021 packages will be able to add it on. We just don't know when that will happen, so we're keeping an eye on that as well. We also don't know if Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party or Epcot's Festival of the Holidays will even happen. Disney's holding a modified version of the Food and Wine Festival this year. That's kind of a mashup of that festival and the Flower and Garden Festival that got cut short. But the Holiday Festival is currently up in the air, and Disney has said they will make a decision at a later date. We're also not sure if the Magic Kingdom Christmas Party will happen this year. The Halloween party's been canceled, but it's too early to tell if the after-hours Christmas events will take place. So there's still a lot more information and likely a few more changes coming from Disney World this year, and we're going to be here to keep you updated on all of it. But please understand, Disney, I think, now I don't work for Disney, but it sounds like Disney's trying to keep things as general as possible so that they can not disappoint even more people in the future. That kind of sounds like what's happening. So again, we are going to keep trying to get answers for you, but a lot of the answers are going to be on a person-by-person basis, so you are going to have to contact Disney yourself if you're trying to get official responses and information about your trip. Also, be sure to follow us on social media, sign up for our newsletter to get the latest updates and answers as soon as we have them. And if you want that handy cheat sheet of what we do know right now, you can get that in a free download by signing up for our free newsletter over at disneyfoodblog.com/new planning cheat sheet. So we're doing our best, you guys. We're trying to keep you updated. And of course, for those of you planning your 2021 vacations, we're hoping things will be a little bit back to normal by then. So of course, stick with us. We are going to keep talking about regular planning information as well and keep giving you all those details too so that you can plan your amazing Walt Disney World 50th anniversary trip in 2021. Thanks for listening, you guys, and thanks for watching. As always, this is AJ for Disney Food Blog. We will see you real soon.